Royalty 101. The current monarchies of the world. Thank you to Blinkist for sponsoring this video. Most of the Earth's surface was once under the control of monarchs, individual rulers who held absolute sway over their dominions and kept their powers for life. Today, of the 195 sovereign nations in the world, 23% still have a monarch as head of state. There are 13 nations in Asia, 12 in Europe, 10 in North America, 6 in Oceania, and 3 in Africa. Of course, 16 of these nations are part of the Commonwealth realms, former British colonies which all still consider Queen Elizabeth II their head of state. Today, we will be learning about the various titles held by these monarchs, some interesting records like which monarchies are oldest and which monarchs are richest. And then I will briefly introduce each of the modern monarchies, including what type they are, constitutional, mixed, federal, or absolute, their historic origins, who occupies the throne now, and who is next in line. In most cases, the succession is based on primogeniture, which means the eldest son or eldest child of the current monarch will become the next monarch. But when a monarchy's succession differs from that, I will explain it. Titles. Modern monarchs have a variety of titles. There is one pope and one emperor, or in Japanese, Tino. There are 18 kingdoms, 16 ruled by kings, and 2 ruled by women, who bear the equivalent title of Queen Regnant. Many of these rulers have titles in their own languages, but generally go by king internationally. Junior to the kings are the one remaining Grand Duke, the 2 sovereign princes, and the 2 co-princes who jointly rule Andorra. A Grand Duke outranks a prince, and both titles denote smaller realms than a kingdom. In the Arabic tradition, the title Sultan, meaning authority or power, is equivalent to a king, and carries religious significance as well as secular. The Federation of the United Arab Emirates elects one of its emirs to be president of the entire nation. Emirs are comparable to a sovereign prince. Usually, I like to do a deep dive into a topic or a person's life, but sometimes a subject is so broad and frankly overwhelming, like all of the monarchies that currently exist, that getting a high-level overview makes much more sense. A great way to get a brief, digestible summary on the many fascinating topics out there is with Blinkist. The Blinkist app takes top nonfiction titles and puts them into 15-minute text and audio explainers called Blinks. There are thousands of titles on topics including psychology, science, health, finance, personal growth, and of course, history. I've recently enjoyed Blinks on Sapiens, a brief history of mankind, and At Home, a short history of private life. Blinkist is a fantastic way to get the important points of that new book everyone's talking about, or an overview of a topic you've always been curious about but don't have hours to dedicate to reading a full book. The first 100 people to visit Blinkist.com/LindsayHoliday will get unlimited access for 1 week and 25% off if you want the full membership. And now, back to monarchies. Interesting records. The oldest monarchy in the world is the Imperial House of Japan, which dates back 2,681 years to Emperor Jimmu in 660 BCE. Next is Cambodia, founded in 68 CE by pirate queen Soma. The monarchy of Denmark was founded in 710 CE by Viking king Ongendus. The Sultanate of Oman dates back to the 749 CE election of Islamic religious leader Al-Julanda bin Masoud. And Morocco was founded in 788 by Idris I, a grandson of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. The monarchy with the fewest subjects and the smallest territory is the Vatican City-State, with only 825 permanent residents, and an area of under half a square kilometer. Of course, that is only the population and area the Pope is monarch of, and does not include the 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide, or the 700,000 square kilometers owned by the Catholic Church, which is equivalent to the country of Morocco. The monarch with the most subjects and territory is Queen Elizabeth II. The 16 nations within the Commonwealth realms have a combined area of 18.7 million square kilometers and 151 million people. Queen Elizabeth II claims 2 other top spots. She is the oldest monarch at 95 in 2021. The youngest is Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar, who turned 41 this year. Elizabeth also has the longest tenure. She came to the throne in 1952, age 25, and has reigned for 69 years. Her Platinum Jubilee is planned for 2022. The most recently acceded monarch is Nawaf al-Hamed al-Jabir al-Sabah, who became Emir of Kuwait in September 2020. But there's one top spot Queen Elizabeth can't claim: richest. She is number 12 on that list. Number 1 is the King of Thailand, whose wealth from property investments is between $30 and $43 billion. Next are the Sultan of Brunei, King of Saudi Arabia, and the President of the UAE, all of whose wealth come mainly from oil. The King of Morocco and Prince of Liechtenstein both made their money in banking and investing. Now let's meet the monarchies. Constitutional monarchies. These countries are headed up by monarchs whose powers are constrained to some extent by a constitution. In many cases, the monarch's role is purely ceremonial, but they often exercise a good deal of influence. Lesotho, the nation landlocked in South Africa, was established in 1822 by King Moshoeshoe I. The current king is Letsie III, who took the throne in 1996. His wife and queen is Misanet Mohato Seeiso. The succession is both hereditary and elective. Any eligible male members of the royal family may be designated heir, but the appointment is overseen by the College of Chiefs. King Letsie's son, Prince Lerothilo Seeiso, is the heir apparent. Bhutan was founded in the mid-17th century by Nguyen Namgyal. After his death, the nation was nominally ruled over by his reincarnations, often children who were under the control of political and religious leaders. In 1907, secular leader Yulyen Wangchuck rose to prominence to become the first Druk Gelpo, or Dragon King. The fifth and current Dragon King is his descendant, Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck, who was handed the throne by his father in 2006 at the age of 26. In 2011, he married Jetsun Pima, who at 21 was and still is the youngest queen consort in the world. Their son, Crown Prince Jigme Namgyel Wangchuck, is heir. Cambodia. The Kingdom of Funan was established in 68 CE by Queen Soma. According to legend, an Indian merchant ship traveling near modern-day Cambodia was attacked by a pirate ship, led by Soma, the daughter of a local chief. After the battle, the merchants had to beach their ship for repairs, and Soma, who was impressed with the captain's bravery, proposed marriage to him. He accepted, and together they founded a new royal dynasty. In 1970, a coup by the prime minister removed Queen Consort Sisuwath Kosamek from power and abolished the monarchy. It was reinstated in 1993, with her son Norodom Sihanouk as the new king. He passed the throne to his son, Norodom Sihamoni, in 2004. The king is unmarried and has no children. As the succession is both hereditary and elective, the throne council will select